Now, they told us Trump's economy would crush the middle class, especially black Americans. But now that data is in, and the regrets loud. And black voices are stepping up to shatter the anti-Trump lie. Let's break down what they attempted to bury.
Tariffs mean for black Americans. This is something I've been interested in and researching all weekend, and I want to share y'all my theory as to what is going on with these tariffs. Because while Trump is trying to make it seem like he is trying to protect American industry, what's really happening, from my perspective, is a strategic attack on the black middle class. And this is what it sounds like their plan is. By increasing tariffs, Trump is making it more expensive to import goods, which forces companies here in America to produce goods. Follow me. Because that sounds good in theory, because especially my generation, the first thing you want to think of is that's just more jobs. Let's look at this a little deeper. Because at the same time he's pushing these tariffs, he's also revoking DEI. Am I right or am I wrong? I'm right. I know I'm right. So let me tell you what this means to me. It means that these new American jobs will not be for black people, because Trump's base is largely poor, rural, white Americans, meaning this is a setup to secure their financial stability at the direct expense of black and brown communities. Because by eliminating DEI, those companies here in America, those American-based companies, his homies, they are no longer required to make legally equitable hiring decisions. They can make those hiring decisions based on what appeals to his base and their hearts, which means this pushes the black and brown communities in a deeper economic struggle. So this isn't about protecting American workers. This is about protecting which Americans get protected. And that's exactly why we need to stay informed. The community newsletter drops February 15th. It's designed to keep us aware, engaged, and strategic in how we collaborate to make changes to where our grandchildren aren't in the same boat that we are in today from what it was that our grandparents and great-grandparents fought for. My people perish for the lack of knowledge. Knowledge is power when it's applied. And in order for us to move forward, we have to apply that knowledge. The link is in the bio to sign up for the newsletter.
So this black woman claimed Trump tariffs are a strategic attack on black America. Let me translate that. She's not just criticizing the policy, she's framing it as an economic warfare, or as economic warfare on us black people. I don't know, man. I hear this and I go, Gotta see how this play out, because this very next clip blows up that entire narrative. Let's not speculate. Let's go ahead and investigate, all right?
What happened to that talking point that y'all had about Donald Trump's tariffs, where y'all kept saying, oh, he's ruining the United States. Oh, he's going to cause a recession with his tariffs. The orange man has no idea what he's doing because he's incompetent. Well, guess what? We got some news for you. For the first time in 20 years, since June 2005, the U.S. government has recorded a $27 billion, let me say that again, $27 billion surplus thanks to Donald Trump's tariffs. Hey, I get it. Y'all hate every single thing Donald Trump is doing. You think he's ruining the United States, even though the data says otherwise. Just check our economy. Straight flexing muscle on them. 147,000 jobs have been added to the United States. Plus, the unemployment rate has dropped down to 4.1%. You got to tell me, what about that makes you so upset? How could you be mad that we're adding jobs to the United States? Remember, for the month of June, those 147,000 jobs, that's higher than what was expected. They kept saying, well, Trump lost all these jobs, then they came back and did the numbers, and it's showing growth. Then you look at the unemployment rate, it continues to go down. Look at the inflation, continuing to go down. So to me, it looks like everybody who voted for Donald Trump, us MAGA, we made the right decision. It's just these liberal leftist lunatics who are upset that the people that they voted for couldn't get the surplus for the United States. But I know what it is, man. Like I said, y'all hate every single thing Donald Trump does, regardless if you're going to benefit or not.
Yes, he said it perfect. Yes, that's exactly how they operate. It don't matter. The TDS is just blind. Ding. Now, Now, that's what we call clarity, not slogans, not social media justice buzzwords, just facts that fry the lie. But if it's this obvious, why didn't the media tell you sooner? Oh, they knew, and they slipped.
What you see happening today is so far we're on a similar path where there's, again, no noticeable increase in inflation as a result of these tariffs. And in fact, not only that, but we put out a report a few weeks ago about how imported goods were actually getting cheaper relative to domestically produced goods. What you see...
Yeah, you heard that right. CNN, a guest on CNN just admitted that Trump's tariffs reduced prices. So when they said he was destroying the economy, what they meant was he was fixing it without their permission. And when the economy refused to collapse, watch what happens next.
Well, I would just like to go, but I'd like to build a DeLorean and go back to April when everybody here was predicting likely to cause a recession. Investment stops and a recession happens. They're not talking about a U.S. recession. They're talking about a global recession.
What was happening in April,
Lead to
Scott?
recession. Eventually, there being a reception.
Palpable panic on Wall Street, red numbers and worries about something else that starts with an R, a recession.
You called the recession. You called it. You took your shoe off.
And Joe, would you like to see that again?
You took your shoe off. You brought cookies out here.
15%.
You took your shoe off and you said there was going to be a recession.
Economic circumstances have now been put in place that most Wall Street economists of senior note say are likely to cause a recession.
GDP is 3%.
It's too early to give a final verdict.
All right, Scott,
It's too early. Just a second, Abby. He's basically calling me out here. It's too early to give a final verdict on the tariffs. You may wish to, but at the moment, it can't be said what the long-term effect is going
Richard,
to be.
I am just a journalist, and all I can
Scott.
do is read the economic data.
It's a bit of a stretch.
3%
Scott,
GDP,
Scott Jennings.
trade deals, record high in the stock
Come
market,
on, these trade
cooling
deals,
inflation.
these trade deals are garbage.
Actually much simpler.
Garbage?
Yes. Hold on a
brother.
second.
You guys are so mad. Why are you rooting for
Because-
failure? Why does this table root for failure?
Please, because you are saying that
You're
you
rooting
are
for
taking,
failure.
you are taking a number of 40, 50, 60% back in April, and you're comparing it to a number of 10, 15% now.
Fine, but
So
it's
just
a
admit it.
strategy to negotiate and create leverage
Scott,
and
but
give us the
that's
situation
still-
we're
it
in
is
today.
completely
Every time Scott Jennings talk, it don't matter. Every time Scott Jennings talk, Abby always comes in and try to shut him down. She allows everybody to say what they want to say, but as soon as Scott gets ready to talk, you think a thriving economy will make them cheer, but no, instead it makes them sweat. Why? Well, because Trump's success exposes their failures and their fraud. But here's the twist they never expected. It's not just conservatives noticing.
I'm not too proud to say that I am wrong about Trump. I'm a proud Democrat.
How so?
And he's done a lot of things. Immigration. I'm happy about what's happening with immigration. I thought the stock market would tank, and I'm pretty happy with my 401k. There's a few things that I just thought things would go wrong, and I'm very happy.
Well, that is big of you to say. It'll probably lose you some friends in this polarized environment that we're in right now. But there's nothing wrong with being happy with results, no matter who gives them to you, right? So I appreciate your candor. Next.
And you know what? A lot of calls saying the exact same thing. And the sad part is that she feels that she can't say it, you know?
I'm not too
Man, a proud Democrat calls in the Cuomo's show and admits, I was wrong. My 401k is up. Telling y'all that fear mongering, that's all it is. It's just projection to keep you deflected and all of your emotions misdirected. That wasn't a talking head. That was a real person who saw the lie, lived through it, and flipped. What you doing going to my refrigerator, man? How you making some cereal? I'm right in the middle of the video. Go ahead. My son, my kids, y'all. Over there acting like, yo, you over there acting like a Democrat. Anyhow, you was able to feel the weight in her voice. And when it comes, what comes next, rather, proves that she's not alone.
Democrats at this point are historically divided. It is a complete and utter mess. It is messier than a hoarder's basement. What are we talking about here? The national early poll leader, 25% plus. Normally, that's where Democrats are. Biden was at 25% plus in 2020. Hillary Clinton was in 08 and 16. Gore was in 00 and 04. At this particular point, there is no one in the Democratic race for president who's polling at 25% plus. The water is quite warm. If you're a Democrat potentially thinking about running in 2028, jump right in, because at this point, there is no front runner.
What do you think? Is that because how people view the Democratic Party right now, is that contributing to this?
Yeah, I think that is in large part of what's going on, is one of the reasons why there is no front runner. Nobody wants to put anybody up at the top of their ballot list, is because at this particular point, the Democratic brand is in the basement. It is total and complete garbage in the mind of the American public. The Democratic Party's net favorable rating, record lows in all three. Wall Street Journal, 30 points underwater. CNN, 26 points underwater. Gallup, 26 points underwater. And that is being driven in large part by discontent within the Democratic base. The Democratic base wants something different. We'll ultimately end up seeing who they choose. It'll be quite the thing who ultimately gets the rose.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. You see, she was super salty as he was reporting that. I know Jasmine Crockett, she over there sitting back, AOC, yeah, because y'all aren't who y'all think y'all are, and the votes that, anywho. This isn't just a drop. This is a crash landing. No front runner, no trust. The party that claimed moral high ground, now buried under its own hypocrisy. And still, this is who they expect us to follow. Roll it.
Joe Biden, there he is.
Expected us to follow. Look, I'm sorry. Sometimes I get a little too hyped between these transitions.
Ben, hold on with us for just a second here. Let's listen to the applause.
Let's listen to the applause.
And he brought his granddaughters to celebrate with him. Please be seated.
Okay, so you're going to be watching Biden's remarks in full here. We still have Ben Jacobs on the horn here. Biden accompanied, I believe, by one of his grandchildren, Finnegan Biden, and I think that was his daughter, Joe Biden. There he is.
So the person at the mic had to stop and guide him along. Tell me again, how was he presidential? This is the guy they told us that would restore dignity. He wasn't leading. He was being led. We all knew that. Yep. They did all that crying about how Trump is a threat to democracy and he gonna kill the economy and all that. But now we watching that narrative fall all the way apart. So they lied about the economy. They lied about Trump. And most importantly, they lied to you. But black Americans aren't buying it anymore. Americans aren't buying it anymore, rather. Now, we're not just defending the Republicans or Trump blindly, man. We're defending what's real. Y'all be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving. Oh, hold up. I almost ran up out of here without doing my shout outs. What's wrong with me? Let's shout out to Angel Baby K2T. Who is this? Ramsey David. Let's shout out to Scott Akbar. Let's shout out to Tori Caroline. Marcia X. Nina Rons. Danielle Turner, Texas. Yeah, man, so many of y'all. Shout out to all of y'all, man. And again, I'll say this. Be safe. Go check on somebody today. You can quite literally be saving their life. Peace.